Someone out there is on the road to greatness, but is being held back by failure or ridicule, especially ridicule. You know, when you are online, you see different people say different things, try to portray you as a wrong person. What do you have to tell them?
For one last thing on order as well that you just reminded me.
Yeah.
A confused mind will never buy. So when you're marketing, not only do you need to be in order yourself, you need to place your prospects so that they are also in a state of calmness and order as well. Because if they're confused, they will not buy. They will not buy. They need to have clarity. This is why transparency and value is so key. If they're confused, they won't buy it. It's as simple as that. So you need to put people into that state as well as being in it yourself. And then your question on the ridicule, this is going to happen. Okay. I mean, your self-image is a part of your paradigm. It's how you see yourself. And that image of yourself governs the results that you get in your life. You know, you could try so hard. This is why people work really, really hard and they don't get anywhere. Okay. So that self-image needs to be updated. When you do that, you decide who you want to be, the person you want to become, and you ask two questions. Number one, are you able? And that's a yes. It doesn't matter who you are. Everyone you listening to this, everyone in the world, everybody's able. No one alive can guess as to the potential that you've got, not even yourself. So you're definitely able. And then the second question, perhaps more importantly, is are you willing? Are you willing to do what has to be done? Are you willing to move where you have to move to achieve your goal? Or are you willing to do anything that it takes? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to unlearn, more importantly, unlearn some of the stuff that we've learned in the past that's no good? And one of those questions one of the sub questions is, are you willing to accept ridicule and, you know, everything that comes with that on the pursuit of your goal? And if you're not willing to accept the ridicule that comes with it, and you will get it, then you're not going to go far. I mean, Carl Benz, who created the first Benz motor vehicle, you know, he used to take that out at night so that nobody could see him and nobody could laugh at him. He'd take it out at night so no one could see him. He couldn't even get started most times. He'd have to push it all the way back to his workshop. Everyone was laughing at him, but he didn't stop. He just kept on going. He allowed himself to be ridiculed. He tried to avoid it at night time, but you know, and eventually he created that. It was patented in 1886, I think, or something like that. And he created his dream. He had a dream in his mind and he made it a reality. But anything you do in life, I have people now who say terrible things to me. I'm only trying to help people, you know, but this happens. One of my mentors earns 25 million a year. He has people abusing him on his ads, abusing him, saying that it's all fake, like stuff like that. It's just part of the process. And you know, God or the universe tests you. If you're going to give up your beautiful dream because someone took the mickey out of you or called you a nasty name, then you're not perhaps not worthy.
Wow, you will be tested. So it shows that you're going to be tested. Either people ridicule you or people laugh at you or make jest of you, but you've got a dream. You've got to focus on your dream. Whether they're calling you names online, you've got to focus on the dream. Wow, this is amazing. You know, you said something very important. You said even the person who's going to buy from you needs to be in order. If not, they don't trust the product. Man, now if someone is watching me here and you've not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscription button and hit the notification button so that when people come in, you can always be notified. Now, the next question, Lou, is this: who are the real winners out there? Who are the real winners out there?
The real winners are those who have set a goal, they've become emotionally involved with it, and they've accepted that they're willing to do whatever it takes, and that they're the ones that persist in doing it. You know, Napoleon Hill, in this great book, I have this on my desk because I read this all the time.
Yeah,
everyone has to read this 3 times in a row from front to back, and then just refer to it. It's on my desk. Sometimes I'll read it for 5 minutes, 2 paragraphs, study. Yeah, he says in that book that now I've forgotten what I was going to quote out of the book. I'll come back to it anyway. The real persistence, that's it. Yeah, so he studied, I think, I can't remember, it was a lot, hundreds, possibly thousands of the most successful men in America. And he found that the difference mainly between the successful and the non-successful, there are other attributes, but it's just persistence. I mean, even with like creating the incandescent bulb, How many times did that fail? About 10,000 times. You haven't failed 10,000 times. You've just discovered 10,000 ways that don't work. You know, and with persistence as well. The story of the miners who were 3 foot from gold. They got all this machinery. They went and joined the gold rush in California back in the 19th century, I believe. Had some success, but then it dried up. And they kept going, and eventually they quit. They sold off all the machinery for next to nothing to some a poor man. He came in with a surveyor, and the surveyor said it's 3 feet away, and he struck gold on day one. That's how close they were. And you know, the guy who sold up and the guy who gave up ended up dying broke, whereas the guy who inherited that after just a day's work had one of the biggest finds ever. Wow! So the real winners are those that don't give up, and it's easy to give up when you look at through your sensory factors. If you've set a goal to, I don't know, to impact 1,000 lives and to make £1 million, and then you're sitting there and you're not doing that, that's the reality of now. If you live from those senses, which we have become accustomed to, then you start to think thoughts that are in resonant with the situation that you're in, and then that starts to generate the feelings of, you know, failure or limitation, which then create the actions, which create the results, and it continues in that cycle. But no matter where you are now, you need to live from that vision. You need to be in that vision. That's why I do this once at night, once in the evening, a visualization session. But then throughout the day, I'm always, you know, I'm living that life now, because you have to. Otherwise, you can't attract it. You have to ignore the current results.
That's it, man. This is no. The session is so loaded. I feel like, you know, after this session, I'm going to bring you back again, if possible, because, you know,
happily.
A friend of mine asked me, said, "Oji, how do you manage to stay the way you are?" I said, "I meditate a lot. I spend quality time meditating on the Word of God, meditating. I infuse myself with positive, faith-filled words that I can make it. I can be anything I want to be." And if you're out there, you've not read Napoleon Hill's book, you better go and read it. And then the book about the story of the miners, I will advise you to get Acre of Gold. Get the book. It's sold in millions. The man went around the world preaching the gospel of the acres of gold. But try and get it. It's an amazing book. You know, now I want to say this. Louis, you've said so much to us. Now, Louis can take you as a client. You know, he's ready to give you some free section. Then you go with him. But there is so much that you can gain from him. So much. Because now we've just got like an hour and some minutes to just talk about this. But there is so much that you can gain from him. Louis, tell us about a session with you. Tell us, what would the session be for someone who is watching now to say they want to come in contact with you? What would be the benefits?
So I usually do a consultation call to give some clarity to where people are heading in their life. You know, I don't work with people who are not committed to making that change, and I don't want to take money from someone unless I know we're a good fit. Which is again something that a lot of people in sales don't do. They're just concerned about the money, and that's not a good thing. I mean, with my high ticket offer is, you know, we go through, we help to set up your avatar, we show you how to market properly, introduction to funnels, automating the sales process, scripts, and the psychology behind the sales calls themselves. But the foundation is always on mindset. Sorry, because, you know, mindset is 95% of everything. It's only 5% technique or 5% strategy, if you will. The mindset has to be right, because you could have the greatest product in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself and the product, then you're not going to make any sales. So, yeah, I offer like a 3-month program where we really go step by step all the way through, and I just help in every way to help you build up your processes to move forward. And I don't really mess around with any low ticket items anymore, to be honest, because they're not sustainable. You have to spend so much money on ads to sell something for, I don't know, £250, for example. And, you know, people who spend £250 don't put the effort in because it's £250. So that's what we're moving forward through now. It's basically an upgrade in belief, an upgrade in mindset, you know, raising awareness. Then we go into the marketing module. We break down funnels. You know, I have funnel scripts that I share as well. And we work on offer, avatar, all that good stuff. And then the final module is then sales, which focuses on sales calls, different methods of selling, and your close, of course, as well. and just making sure that everybody understands how to do things the right way, really. Well, not even the right way, because there is no right and wrong way, but to market effectively, to generate more leads and to close more sales.
Perfect, man. This leads to the next question. Now, someone is coming to you to learn all this. How can you become a 6-figure coach without certification?
Okay,
so life coach.
Yeah, with so the thing is, something that I believe is not good in society is when people go to school. I've got nothing bad to say about school. People go to university and stuff like that. But it's not so much learning, it's more listening. It's more because you listen with your ears, but you learn with your emotions. Now, personally, reading loads of books and studying, and I've got nothing bad to say about it, obviously, but you're listening, you're taking it in, and then you're tested, and you do well in the test, and you're given the reward, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But to really learn, I believe you have to get emotionally connected with the information you're getting. And then you learn through implementing it. You learn through the growth of actually doing this. And, I've got 2 mentors, 2 incredible mentors. They're both 8-figure earners. Neither one of them went to school.
Wow.
Okay, they have no formal business education, no formal, more often all the time now. A lot. Okay, yeah, we're back. Brilliant. So, I mean, I put it this way: I went to grammar school, but I was thrown out. I was one of the earliest people in the history of that school to be thrown out because I was terrible at school. But I'm quite happy with where I'm going. So, it's all down to belief. If you've got something that you believe can help people, and you're crystal clear on who it is you want to help and how you want to do it, you know what their pain points are, you know what keeps them up at night, and you've got a solution for it that you trust and you believe in, you don't need accreditations or certifications. But what you do need to do as a minimum is to study your craft. Okay. I love marketing, so I continuously learn marketing. I go to coaches myself. I'm always being coached by people because, it helps me to stay on top of where I'm going, and it helps me to make sure that I'm, ahead of the game still, or at least not falling behind. So you have a duty to yourself and to your clients to study what it is you're doing. But, you haven't got to go and get an accreditation to prove it.
Perfect, man. This is good. Think back to when you were 17 years old. What would you have done differently? What was your advice for a 17 years old listening now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I suppose it's a funny one because I got a lot of stuff out of the way when I was younger, lots of fun, crazy holidays, all that sort of stuff. I don't regret the way things have worked out now, and I do believe there's an element of your youth where you need to get that life experience. You need to get that real world experience, being in sort of crazy situations, crazy scenarios, just to say that you've experienced life in that sense. So I probably wouldn't detract too much from the way things worked out, but I would definitely convince or aim to convince anyone who's a teenager still to study who and what they are. Okay, because we're a massive energy. Our body is just the transport for the soul, and too many people nowadays think that this is it, that this is just our physical reality. We are our bodies. We're souls that live inside of a body, and that brings an enormous amount of responsibility, an enormous amount of freedom and creative potential that we're just not aware of. So I'd encourage youngsters to study who and what they are, and to study how the mind works, because for me that's the most important thing of everything. If you can get your mindset right, you'll be successful in any profession. Even if you're not that good at it, you'll still be successful because your attitude, your mindset, your beliefs, and ultimately the way that you program your subconscious mind. So that'd be the advice. But at the same time, if you're going to enjoy life, not recklessly, but enjoy life, do that, get it out of the way. But always have a mind to study and have a goal. The sooner you can discover your vision and set goals, and your purpose is important. That sometimes takes a bit longer to realize. The sooner you can get those locked in and start working towards a goal, then the faster you'll have success.
Perfect, man. Wow. Man, that is a class on its own. That particular topic is a class on its own. Because the thing is that once you can understand your mind, you understand who you are, where you're going, you have the right mindset, there is nothing that can distract you from what you want to achieve.